guys, welcome to my channel. Today we have a little combo of videos. So we're going to do a good old swatch and sip of some beautiful eyeshadows. So make sure you pause this video really quick and grab a drink. I've been obsessed with all of the pumpkin drinks. I'm a pumpkin girl, okay? They say it's for basic girls. If I gotta be a basic girl to enjoy pumpkin, I'm happy about it because we know what's up. I've been obsessed with making a pumpkin spice latte at home. My husband makes the best one. Even better than Starbucks. Anyways, also I'm going to do a get ready with me just using a full face of a longtime favorite brand of mine, ESUM. So thank you to ESUM for sponsoring today's video. I am so excited that I'm working with them on this video because if you've been watching me, I have used ESUM products for years. When I was a bridal makeup artist, I used ESUM products literally in my bridal makeup kit. They were like at the forefront of the products that I was using most often. I've created a brush kit in the past with ESUM, and I'm really excited that they wanted to work with me on today's video because the launch that I get to reveal to you guys, it's a formula that I've already waxed poetic about completely organically. So first, let's reveal this launch because it's so beautiful. Like, I truly feel lucky that they wanted to work with me on this launch because it's that gorgeous. So this is the new Artistry palette, their Artistry line that has launched and is doing very well, honestly. I think that it's really functional. The colors are really great, and I have a bunch of palettes that I'm going to use in today's video to just kind of introduce you to the line. So this is the new Artistry palette, the number 4 Elevate Pigment palette. You aren't even ready, truly. Now, ESUM, they are phenomenal for makeup artists. Like I said, I use their products in my kit for years, and they've really elevated their line to be even more practical for makeup artists. But I truly think their line is for everybody, and you'll see I use their palettes all the time. The Artistry palettes, you're always seeing me using at least one, whether it be the bronzer, the eyeshadow, the blush palette in my videos. They're just so convenient. Okay, enough teasing you. Let's get into the Elevate Pigment palette. So today is the official launch date of the palette, October 9th. And this is the box that it is going to come in. The palette is made in Italy and has an 18-month shelf life. You guys know how I feel about eyeshadows, in particular made in Italy. Italy knows what's going on with these eyeshadows. And then here is how all of the packaging is going to work for their entire Artistry collection. So you can see why this is super convenient for makeup artists. You can pull this off, but it's great for everybody because it really lays the colors out intuitively, doesn't take up a lot of space, and packs in a lot of color. And here is the palette. She is so pretty, and let me turn the lights down so that you can see. So this palette, along with all of ESUM's products, talc-free, vegan, cruelty-free, clean, gluten-free, so it's for everybody. So each shade in here, which is on the back of the shades, is named after an astronomical spectrum of color from stars and planets. So, and then the coolest part about this is there are 3 different formulas. So the first row here is going to be an iridescent formula. The middle row right here is going to be a multi-chrome metallic formula, and this last row is going to be your classic metallics, and you'll see that with the swatches. Now, the reason I'm so excited to introduce these to you today is because they have another shimmer palette that I talked about being honestly one of the most amazing shimmer formulas because they applied almost as if my brush was wet, except completely dry. They applied just as beautifully on the eyelid with a brush as a finger. There was no difference. So to me, that means the shadow is really high quality. So you can clearly see the 3 formulas here, the iridescent, the multi-chrome metallic, and then the metallic. Okay, so we actually have a little bit more, dare I say, neutralish shades. Obviously a little bit warm. I love this brown shade. You know I'm always attracted to a neutral. So this could be really pretty all over the eyelid to brighten up a look or to highlight. Okay, and then this brown drooling over. Again, so dang creamy. Hopping into the colored part, Really, this palette is quite colorful, but they're not scary colors. At least I don't feel that way. So that's that beautiful iridescent formula. That green, stunning. It's all about green eyeshadow this season, I feel like. You can see how beautifully these are swatching, right? I'm not crazy. You already know I'm probably gonna end up in this row when it comes to the actual look, and I'm not pressing very hard in these swatches at all. So we have this beautiful light shade. Let's get into the metallic, multi-chrome metallic, and then the metallic. Oh my gosh. For being colored, very gorgeous swatches. All right, you know I'm always scared of a blue row. So let's see. Have kind of like an aqua color. Oof. Okay. I'm telling you, like butter, they look almost wet. I'm gonna do a second layer. Do a second layer of this one. So these shadows, they almost have like a wet or liquid look and finish to them. And then on the eyelid, you know, they're going to create movement through the color and through the finish, especially with the variety of finishes that you have here. I think the swatches here are speaking for themselves. This was a fun palette to do a swatch and sip with because look at that. Okay, let's go ahead and get these on the eyes. I already have my foundation and concealer on, so let's start off with the brows. They have one of the most underrated brow pencils. I used this in my makeup kit when I was a bridal artist. This is their brow defining pencil. It's literally the perfect consistency, the perfect size and shape. I love this. It has a spoolie, which is a requirement for me when it comes to eyebrow pencils. So I'm going to start off by defining under the brow. And I'm going to brush my eyebrows down. Fill this in. Then draw hair-like strokes up. And I'm just going to use my spoolie to blend this out. And this is like the perfect consistency of like dryness to creaminess, because when a brow pencil's too creamy, it can make a mess. It just doesn't blend right. And it doesn't hold the hair-like strokes that you draw, but you also don't want it too dry. Though honestly, I kind of like mine too dry, but they will snap, which is not great. So this is the perfect consistency. And I've gone through a lot of these because I reach for these all the time. Super reliable. Okay, let me do the first eye off camera and I'll be back. Wait guys, I knew you could do this, but I hadn't done it yet. But I want to show you. To make this even more compact for traveling or whatever, you can pull this out and then the back. This is where you'll see the names of the shadow. And then these very easily just pop out and you can pop them in a palette. I hadn't done this yet, so I am like flabbergasted at this. I knew they could do it, but it's a lot easier than I thought. Okay, anyways. So obviously I wanted this look to be beautiful, so I went in with what I knew would be my favorite, the purple shades. So I'm actually going to start off with a matte shade, and since this palette doesn't have mattes, I'm actually going to run into my ESUM Artistry palette, the number 9 Accentuate Blush palette, which I use this all the time for my cheeks. It has so many different colors that you can mix and match, but I'm actually going to go in with this plummy kind of shade right here, with a ESUM V34 brush. I'm going to start off by pressing this into the outer corner, blending that. It's quite pigmented, perfect for an eyeshadow as well if you want to use it in that way. And I'm going to blend this out. So I'm doing my classic light to dark fade. This is just a style that I think looks the best on me. So this is going to be our background color. This shade works beautifully on deep skin tones for a blush. Okay, let's get going here with the eyeshadow palette. So I'm gonna start off with Abyss right here. So I'm going to get my brush in that. I'm using a W21. This is amazing for picking up shimmer shadows because it's a stiffer bristle. And I'm just gonna press that out here. And I'm not going to use my brushes wet or anything because these shadows, they just don't need that. This is kind of like a bluey purpley color. So I'm going to start off by patting that onto the eyelid. Then I'm going to use an S33 and we're going to blend that out to kind of create the shape. We're going to come back to the shadow, but right now we're just mapping out where the colors are going. Then I'm moving into Nova, and this one is going to be pressed onto the center of the eyelid, like so. And with a V27, we're going to go into the top shade of the column, and this is going to fill in the inner third of the eyelid, and I'm even carrying it a little above. The quality of this palette is truly so good. And you know, if like colors like these aren't for you, they do have an all shimmer one that's more neutral colors, but I really find that these are quite approachable. By the way, the name of this one was Aurora. I love that name. I think it's so pretty. Okay, I'm just gonna do little touch-ups that I feel necessary, though not much is needed. These have held their pigment throughout the layering, which is very impressive. Then inner corner, we're going to go in with Omega, which is a pinkiest shade. I'm going to use that under the brow bone and the inner corner. For lower lash line, I'm taking my S31 brush. And I'm just going to lightly fill in the outer half of my lower lash line, just like that. The V09. We're not doing anything new. I always say when I come up with a look that I'm going to use a different color for the lower lash line, but I love the cohesiveness of kind of sticking the top shades on the lower part of the eye as well. So then we're going to brighten the inner corner. And this top row of shades is really unique because you can put these all over the eyelid and they stand alone great. They have enough base color, but you can also put these on top of the shades below to give them a little bit more oomph and dimension and glow. You can even put these over like a black base or a white base if you want. These are much more versatile than you would think. Very, very well thought out. For eyeliner, I'm going to use their new pen liner, which looks like this. It has a precision nylon flex tip, which is going to help for even, clean, sharp lines. It's also a waterproof formula. And look how precise the tip is. Sometimes a little too precise, but I think that makes it really great for beginners. So easy just to press along the lash line here without too much product spraying out. Look at that, yes. And it has a nice, truly matte finish, which is a big turnoff for a lot of other eyeliners for me. And you know, I do have textured, glimmery, shimmery shadows underneath, and it's going over those textured shadows really well. You don't even see any shimmer peeking through. Oh, so good. Okay. I mean, oh. It's so good. Okay, and it looks really smooth, just the way that the shadows are sitting on my skin. I feel like this could still be a really great formula for mature eyelids as well because it's not too textured or thick. They feel pretty thin, which is going to go well over more mature eyelids. But let's move on to the rest of the face because I told you they have a bunch of these artistry palettes for every need. So we're going to start off with the structured face palette. I use this all the time because I mix and match so many colors, and you can use these for eyeshadows as well. I feel like browns are so essential that I am often like digging into these two to define my eye, or for a cohesive look it's really nice to match your bronzer with the bronzer in the crease, so I'll do that. So you can do a lot of different things with this. I'm gonna mix these two together for my bronzer. I'm using a V49 brush. I'm just going to pat this along the outskirts of my forehead, and this is just overall like a really easy to use, easy to blend formula. I'm gonna get this out here. And then, of course, blush. You've already seen this Accentuate palette. For the cheeks, I'm going to try and go really lightly into this plum color. I might mix in a little bit of this lighter shade just to make it better for my skin tone. But it's going to bring a lot of cohesion using this shade since I used it in my crease for the look. Beautiful. And then this brush is the V50. By the way, just makes it easy to cover a lot of surface area on the cheek, but it's angled, so it's easy to apply. I'm going to take just a little bit more of this lighter shade just to make sure everything is all good and blended. Now for highlight on the cheek, I'm actually going back into our Elevate palette. I'm going to use a G34. We're going to use a slightly purpley shade. I'm just going to keep this right here. Not too much because there is a little bit of glitter on it, but it's just a fun way to pull the eyeshadow onto the cheek and add a little extra oomph as you turn your face. For lips, I'm using their dual lip pencils, which I love these. These are super creamy. So this is the plum one. I'm going to go in with the more rosy side. I barely have to put any pressure down to line my lips. And they have like a great selection of so many colors. I have so many duplicates because I reach for these all the time. This particular shade, when I did bridal makeup, was one of my go-to lip liners. And then for lips, I'm actually going to pull into a new palette. ESUM actually does have the Nuance lip palette, and I've never used it before. I'm so excited to dig into it. Look at all these colors. So I'm going to use a W19, and I think, I'm going to mix these two colors together. I wouldn't do this if I were a makeup artist, by the way. This is for personal use. I'm just going to pop this in the center of the lip. Perfect. And this has all kinds of colors. You have nudes, neutrals, plums, reds, oranges. Oh, this is really good. This is making me want to go back into doing bridal makeup because I would totally update my kit with all of these. Alright guys, so here is the final look. Anything purple, I'm gonna be in love with, and as expected, in love with the whole look, and so much of this look was created using all of the ESUM palettes. They really are so versatile, so practical. I love mixing and matching the colors. So I will have linked down below all of the ESUM products that I used. Everything from the eyeliner to the lip liner to the bronzer, blush, eyeshadow. And then of course, if you love this look, make sure you guys check out the new Elevate palette that they launched. The formulas are just as beautiful as the original. Let me show you what sparked my love for these palettes, particularly the eyeshadows. This Intensity eyeshadow palette. I absolutely fell head over heels for this formula, and I do think it's carried over to this new palette just with a little bit more fun finishes here and fun colors, but still not too intimidating. So I definitely am going to continue to create a lot of fun looks with this. These are beautiful high quality eyeshadows there for everybody, and I truly think you guys are going to love them and love this new launch. So again, a huge thank you to ESUM for sponsoring this video. Honestly, I've been meaning to do a video incorporating all of these palettes anyways because I've been using them nonstop, so this worked out perfectly. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.